for months, Vancouver Mayor Ken Sim has been pushing to dissolve the city's elected park board, arguing it's inefficient, outdated, and costing taxpayers millions. But now he's tapping the brakes. The reason? Well, a clause buried in new provincial legislation that would allow permanent parkland to be transferred to a First Nation with a unanimous council vote without a referendum. Now, that's raised alarms at City Hall and within the park board itself. Mr. Sim says neither he nor council ever asked for that exemption, and he won't move forward with a referendum until it's removed. Joining me now to talk about this issue is Brennan Bastyovanszky, a Vancouver Park Board Vice Chair. Brennan, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Boy, this issue doesn't go away. First of all, just your reaction to the mayor's announcement today.
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty surprised. I'm glad to hear that he's pumped the brakes on getting rid of the park board. It's probably the first good decision he's made on this issue. But the comments just tell me that this would have allowed him to carve out a backroom deal. That's what everybody was worried about. That's what that would do. And so it's great that he's been kind of caught with his hand in the cookie jar on this. The whole thing around trust, it has just been eroded. And I think he should get back to basics and just go run the city.
What do you mean by carve out? Sorry, when you talk about the backroom deals, what do you mean by that?
Well, if there are, if there are opportunities where there's a land transfer needed to the nations, the way I read it was that that wouldn't necessarily need a referendum. So meaning the people in Vancouver would not have a say in every case. So there are some parks that they'd be able to do a land transfer, and the people of Vancouver wouldn't get to say whether they get to keep it or not. And that legislation now would say that would be in that referendum. People in Vancouver would freak out. People love our parks. And so that was the exact provision that weakens the protection for the parks that we've been calling for the last 2 years on this. And for the mayor to request that specifically as his bill is exactly what everybody in the city should be worried about.
So in this case, does this legislation or the comments that the mayor make now, is this an opportunity? Does this give him an out on this whole issue of, I'm going to shut the park board down? Clearly, the Victoria's not doing it for him. Here's the legislation. If you want to go ahead with it. As the premier said, it's his bill. Is this a bit of an out for him?
Look, I would love to see it paused. I think most of the city would love to see it paused. We've got so many issues right now. We're in a housing crisis. You've got roads and other services that have declined over the last 3 years, and he's about to cut $100 million from the budget with an Elon Musk type chainsaw, right? And people are worried about all these things and what it means for services. And this is just an example where the province is saying you have to, for the mayor to say we need transparency on this. He ran on getting rid of the park board without a say. So he's tied in knots. I'd love to see it just stopped here.
Yeah. Now, do you believe that this clause was a misunderstanding, or was there political miscommunication between the city and the province in your mind? Because the premier says, we'll sit down with you, we'll look at whatever you want to look at. But I'm just surprised it got to this point where this thing has been introduced. We made news last week on this stuff. All of a sudden now, the mayor doesn't like it.
I was not surprised to hear that the mayor had requested the provision to be able to do a backroom deal. I was not surprised to hear that.
You keep calling this a backroom deal. Why?
Well, that's the whole thing with democracy. Yes, sometimes democracy is messy, but everybody gets a say. And so, the park board is there to provide the transparency. People come down at every age and from every area of the city to talk about issues. And we, right now, Vancouver has a say directly to your elected officials about your parks and recreation. And in this term, we've got our parks clean, we've got new parks opening, we've done exciting things like, Batch at Kitsilano is an awesome place to watch a sunset, and you've got other exciting things like the triathlon being brought in and the outdoor comedy festival, huge hit, right? That's all the park board this term, because we're the elected officials that are close to the people. We play sports, we're in the arts community, we've got kids and dogs, and we cycle and all those types of things. And the park board's also there to provide transparency. And that's the thing that is Ken Sim's bugbear. Is as an example, we're bringing the park board budget forward early. We've got public information that's just been released and the chair has that authority because we are independent. And so by allowing people to see like what these massive cuts mean for your day-to-day services, you need transparency on that. And you need to talk directly to your elected officials that can make those decisions. That's the park board. And we're doing that now. Like there's going to be an announcement soon. We're going to be able to release more information about the budget. It's bad. Like if you're talking about should you be worried, wait till you see the numbers. It's worse than you think. And we want people to come out and talk publicly about it. Speak up for your parks and your rec. I'm worried about losing hours at these places. Like the best thing about Vancouver is its parks. And if you strip back the funding and you remove that oversight that we have right now, all our parks are at risk. And that's what I saw today in that legislation. For Ken, slam on the brakes, do something else. You got a year left in your term, and the roads are not better. The garbage being picked up is not better. Like you promised a lot of things. You've got a year to do it. Why don't you go and do that and leave parks alone?
So this clause, which allows parkland transfer to First Nations without a referendum, in your mind, this is just a red herring in regards to the concern that the mayor has discussed today?
The mayor's lost credibility. Like the park board's been trusted by the city for 135 years to protect our parks. And like the first round of legislation turns out that there's a provision in there to do to give land away without people in Vancouver having a say. Like that would never fly. I mean, that worried so many people, and then all their worries were captured right in that. And so for the mayor to like backpedal on that, I mean, and say, oh no, we need accountability, and like everybody should have a say. And we're like, yeah, we've been saying that for 2 years.
My guest is Brennan Bastyovanszky, Vancouver Park Board Vice Chair. We're talking today about the Mayor and Council tapping the brakes on dissolving the city-elected Park Board. Give us a call on the open line. We'd love to hear from you and get your thoughts. 604-280-9898. That's 604-280-9898, star 9898 on your cell phone. Let's go to Stephen in Burnaby. Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Jeff. Thanks for taking my call. I think it was reasonable for Ken Sim to at least question the need for the Park Board. Given the fact that, not least of which being that Park Board has the inability to maintain the train in Stanley Park and canceling Harry Potter. What an outrageous thing to do. People loved it and without any reason have seemed to just let these things die. So I would grade the Park Board performance a D.
Stephen, thank you for your call. I appreciate that. Do you want to answer that? The Harry Potter event is going ahead. It's not canceled.
That's correct.
Right?
Yeah, the Harry Potter event is still going.
Is it happening in the future, or is this a one-time event now?
It's a one-time event this year. Okay.
And the complaint about the train, like we couldn't get the train up and running, and what do you say to that? I mean, I think there's some legitimacy to the argument that, that's another great event for the community. Everybody enjoyed it, and we just cannot get that thing up and running and consistently working.
Well, the Park Board did actually vote to save and repair the train. The issue was we asked for the money from council, and mayor and council said no. So that, I mean, like we tried our best, but we ran short of money, and council holds the purse.
Okay. So what is now? Ken Sim has said for his final term in office, he wants a 0% tax increase. I think it's 23% so far over the past 3 years in property tax increases. 0% though for the final year. That means cuts to get to 0%, quite frankly. It's $100 million, is that correct?
That's,
roughly the savings they want to find?
I think that's the number I've heard, yeah.
Okay. How much of that will be Park Board?
Well, I think just yesterday, the Park Board released a number of pieces of information, one of which was that the budget cut is $15 million from Park Board.
What's your budget right now?
Well, the tax-funded portion is about 98 million.
So 15% of your budget.
So 15%.
Is that all, or is there more being asked?
There is, we have fees and services, so we'll be forced to increase our fees as well.
How much of that?
Quite a lot. I'm not sure the exact number, but if I were to guess, it'd be something in the like 5 to 10 range.
5 to 10 million. So 15 million in cuts and an increasing the costs of could be parking, all these other types of things. $5 to $10 million in increased revenue on that side. So they want $20 to $25 million out of the park board for that $100 million savings.
Yeah,
keep it at 0%.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, on a $98 million tax base.
Wow.
Now one of the things with the park board that's its strength is, we're grassroots democracy. What that means is that we can bring stuff public. We have control over like transparency and making sure that people can have a say.
Essentially, the mayor's office can't tell you what to do.
That's the whole point of the independence. Like, so if like as we've seen just in these recent examples, the mayor may not want things to be brought public, and that's bad for democracy, because that means like you don't know what influence is happening there. When we talk about being public, like people can come down to the park board and talk about like what aspects, what services are they cherished the most or don't want to see cut. And that's that close relationship with people is like we'll be hearing from lots of people about that topic.
Let's go to Trevor in Surrey. Hi, Trevor.
Hi, thanks for having the show here. I got to say then, obviously you don't have control because you said that you wanted to get the train repaired and the city refused the funding here. It's just dysfunctional. Nothing is getting done. I mean, it's embarrassing that the miniature train can't run for 3 years. As a result of that, a great event like Bright Nights goes to Surrey, and that's a loss for the city as a result of something like that. We have pools falling apart, the facilities that are in need of either replacement or complete repair. I mean, two organizations here are dysfunctionally bickering with each other here, and nothing's ever getting done. And the Harry Potter thing, I mean, that's a joke. You brought it in here, and then what happened? Somebody questioned the author based on their beliefs, and as a result of that, now the park board's apologizing for that. I mean, in all honesty, can the city and the park board actually get their act together?
Trevor, thank you for your call. We got about a minute left. Just your response to that and the broader issue. I think the caller does raise a very good issue in that there has been a lot of fighting between an ABC majority park board at one time and an ABC majority city council, and all the fighting and the bickering that's been going on the last 3 years.
That's right. Like park board should be fully funded. Right now, we're going to be short like $30 million and then plus more cuts. They've been doing a $33 million maintenance deficit, the city has, over the last 3 years. That's $99 million. I mean, the park board needs to be fully funded, and it needs to have its own mill rate. We need to have a global budget that we control that's fully funded.
Brennan, we'll talk on that issue in the future as well. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.